Okay, this is electronic cardboard, the software. The way to look at this kind of software is that it's like as if you put a plane of glass above an artwork on the game table or something. And you can move icons around and chits around just like you would if that was the case. But this software is freeware. I don't know where it's available online, but if you would like to have it, it's distributable. It's all cited. I don't know. I've tried to contact the owners, creators. I've been unable to. So if you know where they are, please let me know. So we've used again the artwork, extraordinary artwork of Excalibur board game, and we've created our chits. It wasn't easy. Well, it's not difficult, but it wasn't quick either because they each have to be created, and I guess that makes sense. Each of the chits has to be created as an object in the software. Over on the right, you see the menu. This higher level items are called siblings, and the inside items are children. And if I wanted to create another child inside the child, then I would do that, and it would continue the tree structure as you see. So I started creating the yellow chits, and then I moved on to the blue team. And I wanted to just quickly show you how this works and how great it is. So it has functions like shift clicks or double clicks and so on. Here's a shift click, and oh, by the way, when you hover, you'll see that there's a little context-sensitive item, a label. When you shift-click something, it'll flip it over because you configured it for different kinds of art. For instance, look at the mill. The mill front is this artwork. Everything's wonderful, and we're chopping or creating flour, grinding flour, or whatever it is we're using the mill for, and then it's destroyed. So all the chits have that capability. They all have the capability of a hover. This is an informational chit I put on here. It tells you something about the manner. And these are ones I created myself just quickly. I know they look awful, but I mean, I just needed to have something to show a camp. And then a commander. And he's got his command valuation system numbers there, as a matter of fact, 11665. So combat morale, tactical initiative, and aggressiveness. CMTA, TIA. I think I may have actually got that wrong. Is it CMTIA? Is the last number? Ooh, I think I did. It's actually CMTAI. Aggressiveness comes before initiative. Initiative is the last number. On this one, I've got the aggressiveness being the last number. Anyway, it doesn't matter. And so when you double click on it, you'll get a little text box for that chit. And every one you put on the game table has its own. So double click again, and you'll get it back. And you can do things like stacking, you know, putting one on top of the other kind of business. And then you can hover or marquee around them, and they become a single entity that you can move around. So that's pretty cool. That's the extent of the stacking function. That's how that works. Other things like this river worker. Again, if you shift click it, goes to the backside, it's removed. The fish has been eaten. It's destroyed. And so the mill is destroyed, and then the beehives are destroyed. So that's for when you have a raiding party situation. I didn't do the castle yet. So when you click this, it's just blank. I'll have to make a destroyed castle art and put it in there. So again, you've already seen videos about the Excalibur board game. This is just another example of how we're using a freely available piece of software to create the game instead of using something like Vassal. And now you'll also note there are no cards yet in the game. I was starting to work on the card system, but it's not necessary anymore because using the online card draw program, we are able to create our own cards virtually and capture them and put them in a folder. So we don't need physical cards anymore, which is great. And each of those cards, of course, is of these manners. Like Hazelmere will have its own card and tells you something about the the contents of Hazelmere. Here's an example. La Rose shows in the game rules I've labeled them shield and sword. That's actually knight and men at arms. And the numbers after that are unsupervised and supervised. And so at the end of the season, if a manor is unsupervised, it would get for a knight there a 5. If it was supervised, and I won't bother going into the details, it would get a value of 7. Now, there is ways of simplifying this business. This unsupervised and supervised business is kind of complicated. Even for a simple game like Excalibur, it's almost needlessly complicated. But I understand it, and so I've just maintained it. I've maintained the concept, even though it's not necessarily. In other words, just give it one number. Why do the 5-2-1 and the 7-3-2, right? Why bother? Just give it one number. All right, so this is a hover. And if you wanted to, you can change all these context-sensitive things. Like that value there is a thing you entered, a text you entered. Same here, the Blue Lord. He could have his own hover information configured for him. Each one of these chits can have that. So there you are. That's the idea of this electronic cardboard. And here's an example. They call it altitude, which is cute. Zooming out, you can zoom out quite a bit. And it's really fascinating. And there's a holding tray. Now, how do you get to the holding tray? Like this. So here's a holding tray. Watch, this is really cool, actually. I kind of like this. Oh, by the way, here's the cards I was talking about. So there, I put them in as entities, but they're not necessary. It's just that it helps to know what the values are of the manors. And I'll eliminate those once I create the informational icons. So here's an example. I can take this card and put it in the holding area. Isn't that cute? I haven't seen many things that do that except maybe Vassal as a default setting. If Vassal would do something like this, it'd be a lot easier to use Vassal. In other words, just create a default setting for creating your own game. In other words, start just like this one. Start just like electronic cardboard, and then implement all your other sophisticated things behind it in the background. Anyway, so that's pretty cool. It's a nice little holding area. You can get something off the map and put it over there and then take it back. What is that, Basington? So all the little chits and stuff can do that. And then of course, you've got the traditional large overview navigation map. Oh yeah, I got other cards in here. All right. So you can maneuver yourself around. So it's pretty cool. All right, so that's that. Any other comments, as usual, either on the website or send me an email through the contact link, and then more information is forthcoming, of course. We'll do some more stuff. And you can see, by the way, I've got other informational things here. Hover for top field, hover for Frenchy. And that's the way we're going to progress. We'll put a little icon here for the Abbey and the Priory, because these can be rated during the game, and there's money value to be gained by rating them. So that's the extent of what we've done so far, and we'll get some more stuff and put it in the box.